Hello and welcome to the Santa Clarita Valley Signal News Podcast. I'm your host, Aron Bender. Thanks for listening as we go over the stories making news in the 661. Head over to Twitter at SCV Signal. Sign up for notifications so you never miss a story happening in our neighborhood. A bit later this episode, we'll catch up with LA County Deputy DA John Hatami for an update on the effort to recall DA George Gascón. But the big story here this week made international news with the murder at a fire station in Agua Dulce and the suicide of the shooter and fire at his home. Let's get the latest from Signal Reporter Caleb Lunetta.
Just before getting on this show, I had called into the Sheriff's Information Bureau. Yesterday they had told us there were a lot of rumors going around. So for those that don't know, the shooting occurred on Tuesday at Fire Station 81 in Agua Dulce. The shooter, the alleged shooter, opened fire on former coworkers, not former, but coworkers, and killing one and injuring another. The 44-year-old that was killed is a father of three, and is said, according to investigators, their leading theory is, as of yesterday, that it was some type of workplace dispute between him and the shooter. The captain who was wounded, 54-year-old, is still at Henry Mayo. He has been listed as in critical yet stable condition. We don't know exactly the extent of his injuries or his status going forward, but what we do know is that he's in the ICU at Henry Mayo and he is critical yet stable.
Have detectives elaborated at all as to their workplace dispute theory?
They have not. So when it comes to investigation like this, especially with one that involves firefighters on, county property and involves, it's a shooting and the whole country is watching. And so with that, they play these things kind of close to the chest. They're under a microscope right now. And so what we have to do is we just wait. We try to, interview the detectives. We call homicide every day. We call Sheriff's Information Bureau. We call any of our contacts that we might know that have an understanding of where the investigation is at. But as of right now, it's there's a lot of speculation floating around, but there hasn't been a lot of confirmation on law enforcement side.
And as a reporter covering a developing story like this, you are going to get a lot of calls or messages, emails with like, oh, I think this happened. Oh, I heard about this 2 weeks ago. And you get some speculation from people on the other, on the sidelines. How do you deal with that?
Well, you got to vet every theory and it's a lot of he said, she said, third party. So my friend's mom is friends with the wife, that kind of thing. Yeah. You get that a lot. And what you got to do is, you catalog it, but you can't report on it until that you have an official word, an official confirmation on it. And so it does make it very, very, very frustrating. But what we do know is that I guess one of the big developments too is tonight at the Saugus High graduation, which will already be in a very emotional ceremony, as it will be their first one since November 14th, the Saugus school shooting, that they'll be all together. And this is a very unique class in that they practically missed, from the fires to the shooting to COVID, practically missed a majority of their junior and senior years. In that class is the daughter of the firefighter that was killed on Tuesday. And so as a showing of support for her and her family, there will be a large procession of first responders lining the track at College of the Canyons football stadium tonight to support her in receiving her diploma when, her father is no longer able to be there for her.
Caleb, great reporting this week. Look forward to more of your stories. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Now my conversation with LA County Deputy DA John Hatami updating the recall of DA George Gascón.
So about a week and a half ago, the petition was approved for the recall, and it was officially approved, which started the 160 days. So now we have 160 days to gather about 590,000 signatures. It's 10% of the LA County electorate. So it's about 590,000 signatures. We have till October the 27th to gather these signatures. So we probably need about 750,000, just because there'll probably be some that will be rejected or not approved. So our goal is to get about 750,000 signatures in this 160 days. So it's a pretty quick amount of time. And if we do get the signatures by October 27th, it should take about a month to get certified. And if it does get certified, there'll probably be an election sometime in February of next year.
Okay. All right. I was thinking that maybe with the timing of everything, you could have that on the same ballot as the Newsom recall.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't know when the Newsom recall is going to be, but I don't think, because of the legal timing requirements, that they'll be on the same ballot. I would say, monetarily wise for the county, that probably would be beneficial. But I think the Newsom recall is run by the state. The Gascón recall is run by LA County. And so they would be different. So I don't think they could be on the same ballot.
What's the number of cities you're up to now that have had no confidence votes in the DA?
We've 17. So we have 17 cities out of there's 88 cities in LA County, and 17 of them have already voted no confidence in George Gascón. And these cities some of them are a majority Republican, and some of them are majority Democrat. So it's really been a bipartisan effort of a lot of individuals. And I believe 4 or 5 more cities are going to vote next Tuesday on votes of no confidence. So we're up to 17 now.
It's been a couple of months since we first talked about these recall efforts. Has anything changed in the DA's office? And if so, what?
I wish, and I had hoped some things would change. I had hoped that it's okay to come to the table and communicate our issues and our differences, and maybe come to some common ground on these issues. But the DA has refused to meet with victims. He's refused to meet with survivors. He's refused to meet with me, and I'm his employee. And so things are the same or worse, because the crime statistics, both from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and from LAPD, show a major increase in homicides. I know the last one just came out from LA County, and there's a 95% increase in homicides as compared to last year. And almost every crime statistic is up in LA City and LA County, including assaults, assaults with firearms, rapes, sexual assault crimes. They're all increased, but homicides have really increased. And we haven't had, the DA seems to be kind of doubling down. He even tried to hire somebody and pay him $1.5 million just to prosecute police, but that person was also an active defense attorney. So 2 judges have already ruled and said that a prosecutor can't also be a defense attorney. It's not only illegal, it's unethical. And so, and we've had some other judges who have gone back and reinstated special circumstances or allegations or enhancements, because the judges said that you can't just dismiss those because you don't believe in them or because somehow it's against your policy. You have to follow the law. So it seems like we haven't, we had hoped, based upon many issues and rallies and things, that the DA would come to the table, but it seems like it's gotten worse, not better.
And how about for you personally?
I would say work-wise, it's about the same. I've picked up some new cases. I still go to work. I still have my cases. I still am very, very professional. I still have a job to do. And I intend to do that every day, which is fighting for children. The DA hasn't done anything to me, which I'm obviously happy about. I would say there's still a lot of stress. It used to be a happy place to go to work, but myself and most DAs, it's a really difficult place to go to work now. And the morale at the DA's office is very, very low, and it's hard to go to work. But thankfully, the DA hasn't done anything to me, and I'm appreciative of that. Other than initially there was a lot of things going on, but it seems like those things have calmed down, I'm able to go to work and do my job and make sure I got to do what I got to do. But still confusing for a lot of people because the directives and we still have the injunction by the one judge. We've had now 3 other judges rule against the DA, and so there's a lot of things still up in the air about what we're supposed to be doing. But I'm doing okay. Things are a little bit busy at work and with my family, and work itself is stressful, but I'm doing okay.
I recently talked with, for the Aron Bender podcast, one of our mutual friends, Emily D. Baker. She says hi.
Oh, tell Emily I said hi as well. It's a big county, but it's also a small county. And so, and I think when it comes to public safety, everybody's interrelated. Everybody cares about families and children and, being safe in their community. I think everybody does care about that. So I think that it's always nice to hear from others. And I do believe all of us in Los Angeles do believe in public safety. We just have different, I think, viewpoints maybe about how to get to that. And so I think that's really what's going on right now is a debate regarding that.
Well, I'm sure she still cares about what's happening in Los Angeles County and the people here, but she's up and moved to Tennessee.
Oh, okay. A lot of people have moved, so I'm not leaving. So I like Los Angeles, and my kids, I'm raising them here. They're going to school here, so we're not leaving. But Tennessee is great too. I'm an Angelino, and I'm not going anywhere. I like it here.
John, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much. You take care of yourself and be safe.
For more stories and breaking news, head over to signalscv.com. Email me story or guest ideas at abender@signalscv.com and connect with me on social media at aronbender.com. Thanks for listening. Be well.